Hello and welcome back to SJ Cartier Limited Combos. And after yesterday's video regarding the possibilities of assisted dying become legal in England and Wales, yesterday after my video they actually went ahead and said they are going ahead with it. And I feel like, along with everything else in this world right now, everything's like going down for me. Like, people's lives are becoming less worthy. People are becoming God in their own mindsets, in how they act, in the actions they think they can do, and etc. etc. So I'm just going to look into a few things of what's actually been passed yesterday and what the future looks like for us as citizens, and even the decisions we have to kind of consider, because it may be an option, and it is also, as it is now, an option, possible option. That means when our parents, when our family members actually get to possibly have cancer or certain terminal illnesses, and they are going through tough times, this may be a question that just randomly pops up in a normal conversation, when right now it actually wouldn't be. It would be more focused on getting through today, having an enjoyable week, and looking at how the pain hopefully may be getting worse. And yes, we may know the time, but we're going to enjoy the actual short space of time we do have together right now, regardless of the pain, because we're kind of family, and we want to keep each other together as long as possible. So basically, after yesterday's law, it is understood, now it has been passed, that within 4 years, this law must be put completely into place. And with the way it's looking, it may pass by the end of the year if it passes through the House of Lords. So for us, there's nothing else we can do. We have to rely on the Parliament that people voted in. I'm not going to explain why I do or do not vote. I will go into another video why I do or do not vote another time. But these are the people we have voted in, or you as viewers as well have voted in, and these are the decisions they are making, and they will put down all the terms and conditions and see if it is actually feasible for them to do. Some of the things they'll have to work out is, how will it work out, whether that would be in the NHS or via an outside provider. So at this moment in time, they're unsure whether you have a terminal illness, we could administer whatever way they are planning to take this person's life. I'm going to keep saying it as take somebody's life, because regardless of the fact that they are going through pain and they have a time frame on their date, no one still can give an exact date for this life to go, and the choice is now being made right now. So I will say, I would use the word taking a life. So yeah, they're not sure whether it would be done in the NHS, a normal hospital, or done in an outside provider. They're not sure whether all medical staff, let me take that back. Not all medical staff will be compelled to take part in this, which for me is also a good thing, because it means, as nurses and as some people may actually have a bit of a soul for themselves, and I don't want to sound too arrogant when I say a bit of a soul, because I understand the circumstances the people are going through, and I'm not going to take anything away from what they're going through. Like, I wouldn't want to go through it. I wouldn't want one of my family members to go through it at this moment in time. I've had family members who go through cancer. A couple of my family members actually have cancer at this moment in time. So when I'm talking on this is also like how I would feel for my heart if anyone that has passed away previously to cancer in my family, or even as a young boy, one of my friends passed away of cancer when we was only 16. So understanding that for some people, getting as much time as possible while this person has cancer, and even though they got to the weak stages and they were bedbound, had to stay in the house, they were still able to get as much time with these people up until the time they passed, even though it was a shock and it took them and me as a shock. So I'm quite happy that not all medical staff will be I'm going to use the way forced into making that decision that they have to do this because it is in their job description. It would only be certain either chosen or people that have put themselves forward that they are willing to do these things. They also will have to decide what type of lethal substance they would use, whether that be an injection or some tablets. So either which way, morally, those are things that happen to murderers in other countries. In this country, there's not a law that we can legally kill someone for any crime they commit. So understanding how to actually take a life easily in the UK, we have no understanding at all. We have none. And if we look at history with Americans and their death penalty, there's been many cases of variety of issues and problematic things where either, for example, they've been injected and suddenly now it hasn't worked and they're still alive and there's more foaming, and the people, their loved ones, are having to actually see their loved one go through more pain than the actual pain of the cancer. We've seen many stories of things like that. So as a UK country who's never ever been involved in this, understood this, they're going to have to find a way of trying to make it as painless for the patient as possible, which for the first few, I believe it's not going to be as easy as 1, 2, 3, let's put this in place. And so they're going to have to decide whether it's lethal injections, whether it's tablets, what is the best way, and mask with gas. I heard someone say, we said yesterday, that's what we said, that's what we said yesterday, and put a mask on your face.
I haven't heard all that.
Put a mask on your face and it obviously does something, I don't even know what it does, takes your breath or whatever it does and slowly takes your life away. Slowly. They also will have to discuss what proof patients will need and what codes of practice that will have to be followed, which will come down in also what type of lethal substance they use and how they actually look to take somebody's life. Because yes, the proof is going to be obvious with medical records if someone is terminally ill and there is a time frame. But then I'll also throw that question out. There's been people that have been told they've got a month to live and they live for 10 years. There's been people that have told they've got 10 years to live and they live for a month. So although some people may actually be going through a lot of pain, that time frame that another human being is deciding, yes, a professional, yes, a medically trained, but as human beings, we all get things right and wrong. So understanding that that time frame could be misjudged. Yeah. So proof may be that obviously you've got an illness, but how strong is that proof that that illness is terminally ill when we come down to it? So I think they're going to have to look at really what proof all the patients are going to have to prove to whether the NHS or another outside company to actually go through the process and how long it would take, and then also what types of codes of practice they would have to stick by to make sure they're not breaking any laws of obviously murders, or making sure that patient, as I said, is well looked after and not going through more pain than they actually signed up for, that their family are well looked after before, during and after with support systems set up for them, and groups, and certain like help for the family before, during, and after, as well as the patient. So there's going to be a lot of codes of practice that they're going to have to follow to make sure they don't break no morally what's the word moral grounds. Basically, it's not moral grounds. Any codes of, it's like, how to explain it? I'm sorry.
Moral.
It's not moral. It's like.
It's not. You mean codes of conduct?
Yeah, like it's like a codes of practice, but it's obviously they can't break no codes, laws that are already set in place, because you are still a human being. All the logistics will be worked out by Stephen Kinnock and Sarah Sackman. So these two people, I've never heard of their names before, to be honest. As I say, I'm not going to go into whether I vote or I don't, but I think you may understand by the point I'm making it out which kind of side I am. But I don't know who these two people, I've never heard of them in my life. But obviously I don't follow politics as much unless it's certain things that I feel obtain to me, my life, kids growing up, and the future of our community, to be extremely honest. So yeah, them two people will sit down and decide between themselves how this will all plan out. They possibly will implement a way to move patients with under 6 months to live to a palliative care, which is a specialised medical care focused on providing relief and from symptoms and stress of serious illnesses, or a free service via something similar to what they set up for abortions currently. So by understanding that, then the patients must have under 6 months to live. That is the understanding. Then there must be proof that they have under 6 months to live, and that's when they would then be moved to either palliative care, which is already things that are set up to help patients that are going through these kind of things, or to a service similar to an abortion clinic, where you basically go in, book yourself in, and your family come in and there's a date for you, and from the date after that you get your little support while you're there, and then you're sent out on your way. So these are some of the things that are going to be going on in the Parliament with regards to this assisted dying, and I'm hoping honestly that it doesn't pass through the House of Lords. I'm hoping that there's other people within the Parliament that come to a change of mind and pull a few strings to make this decision actually overturned. Because as I said in my previous video, I feel morally, I don't think we have the right to actually make these decisions. And I'm thinking morally, like, for everybody, because I'm also hearing there's actually talk about the certain people in the disabled community getting upset, and that's because there's certain of their disabilities that is classified as terminally ill, and they may actually have a certain time frame, short space on their time frame, and this may also be an option now for some of them, whereas it wasn't an option for them previously. So it's not only going to open the floodgates for obviously cancer patients, it may open the floodgates for other types of illnesses. And suddenly now we are going back to barbaric days where people can get killed in an hospital and it's legally put down. Like, there's no one, you can't come back and say, oh, you've done this, push a claim, speak to my legal team. You can't do that because they're going to die. We're telling you they're going to die. Would you like them to die? That's how I'm taking it. And I know it sounds a bit harsh, but as I was trying to say in our discussion yesterday, yeah, the way I see it is, it's almost like, although there may be because remember the time frames, we can never be 100% exact on a time frame, for starters. So although yes, we say under 6 months, I've had people close to me that have been told they've got months to live and have lived for ages, for years. I've had people that have had cancer, lost it, had cancer, lost it, were very weak, were very strong, and then just died. They were strong, they were seeming stronger than they were when they were taking the things, and then they passed away. They're told they were past it again. So, understanding that humans, we can never know the actual time frame of the death anyway, regardless of the pain that the patient is going through. And the point I was trying to make yesterday, if we are putting it down to a mindset of, if this patient believes that the doctors told them they have a certain amount of time and they don't feel that they have possibly the willpower within themselves to carry on fighting and the support system around them to carry on fighting, then just like a normal elderly patient who has nothing wrong with them other than old age, they don't want to be looked after and catered for. They'd say they'd rather not be here to save you travelling, save you doing all those things for them. And they're not terminally ill. So that mindset of, oh, because I'm feeling a certain way, even though the doctors who can't be 100%, remember that's the key point, can't be 100% whether that death is happening today, next week, in a month. There's an estimate. There's a time frame. Yeah? So having that mindset that because there's a possibility of a time frame, even though we feel the pain, we see the stress, we see all the problems, yeah, then their mindset shouldn't be led to believe or given an option where they should feel they have to give up. Go on, what was you going to try to say?
I feel like I hear what you're saying, but also whenever like you say it, you speak on the side of the family of the people who are.
I'm talking of the people as well.
Who are terminal.
Yes.
I don't think it's touched upon properly the fact that the person who is terminal, in pain, dying from whatever illness it may be, it's not just a cancer, it could be cancer, it could be, what's it called? I can't remember the name of it. Something, disease, yeah. Something like that. It's not right, but any disease that it's too far down the line. There's some diseases that you can't recover from, and you know you're just deteriorating, and at some point it's going to end in a certain way. I don't think it's been touched upon what the person who's going through that is feeling. It's like it's being put across as, because this will be here now, they feel pressure to then be like, oh well, I might as well just take this and go then.
It's making and it's mindset.
It's not necessarily the case for a lot of people. I think it just needs to be taken into account how the person who's suffering is feeling, and I don't think that's being taken into account right now.
Let me show
how
you
do
where
they
I
feel? How about listening? Wait, please. How about listening to them and how they're feeling, even if it's just to listen to how they're feeling.
Okay,
just because a law's been passed does not mean that's going to influence them. And I also don't think, even speaking on my mum's side, she's in pain every day, all day, it doesn't stop. But she's healthy in her inside, her organs, everything is perfectly healthy. It's just she's in a lot of pain physically because of her arthritis and other things. I would never imagine that she will say, with all the pain she's in, I've had enough now, I want to go. That's not going to cause that because she's in pain, because she knows everything's working inside her.
Okay.
She hasn't got a terminal illness. I think having a terminal illness and feeling like that. It's totally different from being very old and just being achy all the time and in pain. It's two different things.
Okay, let me answer that now then, because I have spoke about them. I said the pain they are going through, yeah, I'm not going to overguess what pain they go through. As I said, I've had family that have passed away from cancer, but I can't say I was around them every day. I had a friend that I grew up with that had cancer, and as I said, when I was talking about someone had it, fighted it, beat it, came strong, could play football again, then suddenly it come back. We was going on holidays, come back, caught him again, couldn't really come out of the house, wasn't as strong again, beat it again, got strong, had a lot of life, continued his life, and then he actually just took him, yeah, like that. Like one morning he was just gone, yeah, and we was in school, yeah. So you see, like understanding what he went through, like as a friend watching him as a young teenager, then yeah, that was alhamdulillah. That was cancer, and that was me seeing it attack someone close to me who was very fit and healthy. We'd play fight all day, we'd play football all day, we'd run around all day, we'd be out all day, yeah. And you see, seeing him be told he'd had a certain time frame and going past that time frame, yeah, he was going through pain in those times when he was taking medication and everything, yeah, going through pain, yeah. See, the fact that he got past those stages made him actually able to go on holiday with his family, made him actually able to spend more time with his little sister and friends and other family. When it came back again, yes, he may have been ready to go then, and that could have been the time for him to like, oh, the family say, yeah, we've told again he's got a short space of time. Now's the time again, like to think, oh, should we take it? Whether he's going through pain, yeah. So he could have that option in himself to want to take his life, yeah. But the fact that he never, and the option wasn't there either, because as the option's there, it also gives you an option and a thought plan. That's the thought plan now. Yeah. Do you get that? Without it being there, the option is we have to fight this. We have to enjoy whatever days we have together and hope for whatever days come. And the pain, although, as I said, I wouldn't want to go through the pain, and I wouldn't want family members to go through the pain, but as you know, he's got cancer, yeah. I've told you, nans and people have passed from cancer. Friends have died from cancer in school. So understanding terminally ill, I understand it close about how they could, because I've seen it as well. You know, I'm trying to say I've seen it. Do you get that? So as I've seen a healthy young lad be like that, it's like, I know the pain they go through, but the point is, as I said, the option being there makes it obviously easier to give in. And if he had given in on the second time, forget the first time when they're telling you your time frame, yeah? And he's had to go in hospital for however long and feed him through the things and all of that, and then he's come out and he's had to be fed up in the house and all of this, yeah? And then he's beat that and he can come back out now. And he's caught it again, and that was it before. That's it. You could have gave that up then, because there was a time frame again. Because this is the point I'm trying to make. It's a human giving a time frame on someone due to the illness, regardless of the pain. It's not the pain they're giving the diagnosis on, it's the illness they're giving the diagnosis on. So if the diagnosis of that illness is strong enough and they can see there's no beating it, they can see it's attacking them and it's growing, could be something big that's growing in them or something that's opening or what, We don't even know yet. Could be a variety of things. But they're looking at that and saying, the way that's going at the moment, your time frame is this long. And yes, we've got 100 case studies, we've got 50 case, we've got this amount of case studies to prove that. But that ain't always the case. And just like him, he got to go on holiday again with his family. And one thing that I remember on his, like after, is that's something that his mum was happy about. At least we got to go on holiday as a family again. It got his other brothers down here. It brought the family back together. And he was going through pain. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's not feeling for them, because obviously, same way for him. He enjoyed those moments. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, those are moments that, even as a human being, to say, you know what? I'm going through this and I'm fighting it. And yes, I feel the pain, I can't move. I feel like life's giving up. But I can't give up, even though I know life's giving up on me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's that mindset of them that I'm trying to get at. Like, it's like, for them also, it's not a nice way for them to just go. Do you get what I'm trying to say? To be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to wake up today. What do you think's better then? Them waking up today knowing, you know what? Today's my last day. I'm going to be jabbed today. Or would you think it's better they wake up on that day and think, I could be gone today. I could be. But you know what? If I'm not, I'm going to try and make the most out of it. I'm going to try and remember what moments I can.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, because obviously I feel like any family members would want their loved one to feel like that. We want every last day of you.
Do you get but it's them as well though. It's them.
Yes,
because even though they're going, it's also memories for them.
Yes, I understand that, and you're not letting me finish. I get that.
Compared to waking up and having the thought plan of, I'm waking up today and I'm going and to leave this earth today, and whatever I see today, hear today, is the last thing I'm going to hear and see.
Yes, yeah.
Do you get that?
I get you.
Like,
I get you.
And
I'm just trying to throw it there on another people's point of view and not just one.
I know, but
there's someone who may have that in them to be like, no, I want to get the very last drop of life by doing something. I want to, even if I can't move, the fact that people are just here with me today, seeing them laugh makes me happy, and I will go through as many days as I can to see that. Yes, there's people like that. What about the people who can't do that? Can't do that. Their suffering is overshadowing them being able to enjoy their loved ones. It's like,
I get that.
I think it's just a thing of, because I personally would not want my loved one to say to me, look, I want to go when I want to go by doing this. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't be happy with that.
Okay, can I give you an example? Can I give you a quick example? Yesterday, I was watching someone on the TV. She had some cancer or something. She was on the TV. She's rearing and roaring about, I'm so glad that this has happened, because when it comes to my time, I want to... I'm looking like, you're someone that has got cancer, and you're telling me that when you get to a stage and you're acting like this now, you want to take your life. And that's the mindset I'm trying to get into, the understanding of it. It's not just the fact of, we understand they're going through pain. We understand we don't want them to go through pain, and we understand if it was us, we'd want the pain to stop. But it's not on our decision to make that. And I'm trying to not go into no Islamic or godly thought plan. I'm just looking at it as a human nature. Because there's many ways for you with going through that pain and you can't do nothing. Because you know what it is? It's hard to imagine going through a pain that you have no understanding of. Remember that? Yeah? So until like I have that pain or we go through that pain ourselves, none of us actually understand what pain that actually is. I could come up to you and pinch you and you go, ah, and think that's the worst pain in the world. I could come and pinch myself in the same pain and I don't feel nothing. Who's to say?
Everyone's threshold's different.
Everyone's threshold's different. We both could have our leg chopped off in the exact same way, same amount of blood coming out, and because one of us, and I'm not trying to put it on the mind, but it is the mindset that I'm trying to get at. But it's also the mindset of I'm giving up that will make that leg rot compared to the mindset of I know it's going to go, I know I've lost my leg, but I have to continue even though I'm going through as much pain in the world to what I feel like right now because I've never felt a pain like this in my life. And it's those understandings that I'm trying to get at. I understand the pain they're going through. I understand some of the family wouldn't want to see their loved ones going through that. But having that understanding that we don't know when people are going to go. And if people can actually get over something, even if it's terminally ill, because people get over terminally ill things and live longer than they're supposed to. And they was told they could got a week or something. Then why are we allowing a decision to be made again by judgments? Because that's what it basically is. It's one person saying, the person is feeling the pain, saying, I feel like I'm going through so much pain. We could have a toothache and think the world's going to end and we're going through so much pain. And I'm not comparing them, but I'm trying to show you on a smaller scale as well as the larger scale, the comparison to how it looks. And as I said, I haven't felt the pain to know what this pain is. But I understand that going through the pain and knowing that, you know what, I've got this amount of days possibly, and I'm going to have to put up with this pain possibly. I feel like for them, it would be better for them to possibly put up with the pain, even though I ain't going through the pain. And as I say, there was a load of people voting for it. A load of people in the country voted for this. Loads of people that were going through the pain were voting for this. Happy for this. So I understand that there's people that obviously feel that whatever pain they may have to go through or they are going through, it is like that. It's like coming to the end for them. I understand that. But I don't want them to feel like their last days is to actually, the same way they don't want to worry about their last days is the same way they're going to worry more because they know the date of their last day. And that's the mindset for them. That also is going to be, you may be downhearted of knowing, oh, you know what, I'm going to be going possibly in a week, a month. But at least you may get some excitement if you last that extra day. Even if it's pain, it's like I'm fighting on. Depends on the mindset we're trying to feed in it. And yes, I understand just having a mindset and going through the physical thing is two complete different things. But we have to have that mindset as well. Because, as I said, I'm not focusing on the main point. We ain't got to decide to take the life.
So what do you say, or what would you say, or how do you feel about those people and that's the name now, motor neurons disease.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think of. Because we focus just on pain, I'm in pain. It's not always just about the pain. Sometimes it's the humiliation for someone of they've always done for themselves. All of a sudden, someone has to clean them, wipe them, take them to the toilet,
Surprise.
do all these things, and they feel
mindset,
humiliated,
pride
by that.
Pride.
But that is that person's feeling. It's one thing
Pride.
for you to say that from sitting over there.
It is.
If you are talking to someone
Have I had pride
who
with
is
you?
going through, it is different, baby.
I
You,
know, but
you do not have motor neuron disease. None of us understand that illness and how it feels.
But
so
it's
if you're listening to the
it.
person who has it and they are saying whatever they're saying, how would you feel having someone facing you who's in that position? Literally, it's not getting better, it's getting worse, it's getting worse.
Then
The
I try to
deterioration
always
is
be
rapid.
positive. I try to always be positive. Quite simply. I quite simply just always be positive. If they are not happy because of, okay, then they can't, they have to do everything for themselves, they like to do things for themselves, then you don't have to worry. I'm actually happy doing this, and it's not what will make it into a fun thing. If you were someone that always used to look after me, which could be a parent, could be a partner, then now it's my time to look after you. You don't have to worry, you've done enough. You relax. In fact, don't you want to swap? I'll do that and you do this. I'll relax for a minute. I'll take the pain for a minute. We make a joke about it. Whatever way, we try and be positive about it more than being negative towards it and focusing on the death part, even though that is something that is on everybody's minds. Because that's the mindset that I'm trying to, it's again back to the mindset. Do we look at it as we're giving up, or do we look like we're trying to continue and make the most out of now? And we could put, and this is why I go to the little things, yeah, because it may be hard to understand with the big thing, but if you understand with little things, okay, then how to explain it? Confidence wise, yeah, it's all about confidence in some ways, yeah, and pride, as you just said. Like, certain of these things that make that decision come across is not just down to the pain, as we say, it's a mental thing. And if they've got positive people around them that just keep trying to be positive, no matter how down it is, it would be as most helpful for everybody. And I think that's where people are trying to like give up. People are not trying to always be positive, even though it's a negative situation. Because it's the same, they're going to pass away anyway, and it's going to be a negative situation. I always say as well, turn a negative into a positive. So if you're going through a lot of pain, you don't like the humiliation, then we will find something that you can do if you can, and we will make it seem as actually you are being served right now. You should appreciate it, even though it may be hard to understand. We're not just going to say, oh, appreciate it, but we're going to make them feel like they should be king or queen, because you're getting looked after, you're getting catered for. And I actually, because this is what I said yesterday, it comes down also to their support system around them. Because if their support system around them actually likes, even though they may not like doing it, they can take pride in what they're doing, then that will show to the person as well. Like, it'll show that, you know what, you've lived your life to a point where someone loves you so much that they would do all of this for you. Either which way, we turn it to a positive. instead of focusing on the negatives of the pains, the humiliation, the actual time frame, the illness. We leave the illnesses to the doctors. We leave the pains to whatever medication these doctors give us. We leave the time frame in the hands of the time frame. I don't want to say God because I don't want people to overstand it, but for me, I leave it in the time frame of Allah. But we leave it, it's all dealt with. Our thing is to deal with the pain within ourselves internally and have the support to help us deal with that. Because it could be someone going through any amount of problems, yeah, and it's like we're saying to anyone going through any problems, whether terminal or small, that if you have a problem, just give up on it. And I'm not trying to be blasé about the way I say that, but I'm trying to really be open-minded in the thought plan of the mindset of how we're making it be. Because we understand the pain, we understand, we can see, we understand the humiliation of wanting to do things for themselves, not being able to clean and wipe their own bottom.
I think that's the thing. I think we would never understand unless we're in it.
That's the thing.
And this is the problem. Like we can have our opinions and stuff, and that's great. But we would never ever know until we're in that position. And please, Lord, don't let us ever be in that position.
And that's where I
don't ever let us be in that position. But
inshallah, I mean.
But we will never know. And I guess it kind of works on what you're saying as well. We can have our opinion, but we can't really 100% take that forward and be like, well, this is just how it is, and that's how it should be.
That's what's being done
and that's
now.
what. Yeah, but listen, I haven't finished.
But
that's on our side and also on the MP side, because by them taking this over now and making this judgment, they have turned their opinion into actually making it so when they don't even understand it either, because they're not going through it. So on both sides can have an opinion, but should we really be doing anything major to affect this when we are not actually in it ourselves?
This is where we come back to what I said.
Difficult.
There's no one that should make a decision making on this. There's no one. There should be no legality to it at all. That is the main point, and we're back to it.
Yeah, it's the government again.
Making decisions.
It's a form again of control that's being taken.
And these are reasons why some of us don't vote and some of us do. Because whose decision, like, what kind of decisions are these that people are making? For me, what kind of decisions are we even trying to actually consider here? Like, this is what people are talking about in the House of Parliament's getting paid out much amount of money. They want to talk about taking people's lives. They want to talk about immigrants coming in that take all the jobs that they don't want to give to the normal UK citizens, and the other UK citizens that they would give it to don't want to take the job. These are the stupidness that they're moaning about, and it's not stupid, but it's things that they're taking out of everyday people's hands and trying to change how our mindset should be. So there's a lot of people, as I say, that are going through terminal illnesses now, who have got, like, probably even been told they've got 3 months to live now. Now their mindset is going to be in limbo, thinking, oh, could I not? Am I going to make it? Am I going to make the time to...
But then at the same time, this ruling is not taking stuff out of their hands, it's giving them the control which they didn't have before because it was against the law. So then it's like it's
who
giving
wants
them
to take
the
control
option.
of their life?
It's giving them the option.
take control of your life.
What to do, although I personally don't agree with it, but where they didn't have control. They didn't have the choice before, say. Now, even though it's in, it just feels like feels like a wrong way. But now they've been given the choice of.
Okay, do you know what was the reason why abortions came into place? Why abortions actually allowed?
Well, personally, see, that's another thing. I'm not an MP. I don't know why the MPs have ruled it. I personally would feel it's because due to if a rape's happened, or there's a severe deformity in the fetus, because sometimes you can see it, and it's like, okay, this is going to happen. Here's your options.
What was the argument? What's the argument on it on the other side? It's immoral.
Yeah.
Regardless
of it. To those people who are not going through it and don't understand.
Yes, not going through it and not going through it. But again, it's that point again as people making a decision making on life and deciding that they are the ones to administer or take away this life, and giving people that option to do that. So there's a lot of people that have aborted kids that they probably regret now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There'd be someone out there.
More than you know. I get what you're trying to say.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying.
So you get it. So, do you mean?
I get what you're saying.
So overstand. So overstand it of. It's all about the mindset. Do we want to give them that mindset of however long their days is, that yes, the pain they're going through, but do we think giving them an exact date is going to cause them relief? Really? And if they are going through so much pain, are they in the right mind state to make that decision whether they think they can't handle this pain? Because they are going through a pain, as I'm trying to point out, little and big similes, comparisons, yeah? We could hurt our tooth and feel like the world's going to end and not be able to do anything. And we feel like the pain is the worst pain in the world, yeah? Yeah? No one can tell us that pain is not the worst pain in the world to us at that moment in time. Yeah? But to make them focus on that pain is going to make that pain last longer. Whether we're going to tell them we're taking it out or not tomorrow, today. Sometimes you have to let things just be, innit? Sometimes we have to make things just be, basically. We can't be overly forcing and allowing our decision of what someone's telling us on, because that's the point of the tooth. They're going to think they're going through the worst pain in the world, and that's what they're going to tell us. Because that's what they're feeling. So we're going by the pain that they're feeling right now, because they're feeling it. That doesn't exactly put down to the pain that they are feeling, because none of us can feel it. And the mindset would make them feel the pain is worse or less painful than it actually is, regardless of what it is. It could be the worst pain in the world, and they somehow make it feel like that pain is not the worst pain in the world.
Yeah, it's down to the individual.
Do you get?
Everyone's different.
And that's what I'm trying to get at. It's down to the individual. And as an individual, we can't be judging everybody's case on if everybody's cancer and they've got this terminal and they've got this time frame that their life should be ended on. But
I don't think that is what it's about. It's not about.
It is, because it's whoever wants to. It's whoever wants to do this. It's whoever wants to who's terminal. Whoever wants to who's terminal, and they think they're going through the pain. They obviously, as I said, they're going to have to talk through the terms and legalities of it. But the be all and end all of it is, if you have a terminal illness and you've been given under 6 months to live, and you have proof of this, and you are going through severe pain, and you'd rather have your life taken before that date, whether you're going through pain, humiliation, or whatever it is, then you have the option to do that now.
The option.
You have the
Doesn't
option.
mean everyone's going to take that option.
It's the point of you have an option. Again, as I say, you have an option to take your own life. And that's how serious it actually is. It's not, oh, they're going through so much pain and we're releasing the pain. They're going through so much pain and they're giving up, so we're also giving up on them. Because of a big serious thing, if that was my mum, my father, I'd rather be doing what I have to do, man. Whether they're stubborn, whether they like it, whether or not, yeah. I'll try and make their life as comfortable as possibly as I can. And I've seen my mum moan about tough like it's the end of the world, and suddenly she's better the next day. And I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it's understanding that that person going through any pain, whatever that pain is, whether it's a terminal illness or something major, is going to make that pain sound worse than it actually is, because they're going through pain. Their mind frame will not be as strong as if they were their fit, healthy self. And if they are having these thoughts already, yeah, we are aiding and abetting that thought to become a stronger thought or reality. And that's the mind frame we want them to be going through. Because as I say, when does this start? Because somebody could get cancer now and be told they've got 6 months to live, and then they're living for 50 years. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if they've just found out now and they feel, could it be at the beginning? Do they have to go through it for 10 years? You know what I'm trying to say? There's too many terms to this to be considered. And who's considering it? Us, a human being. Judgment. Judgment by someone, as I'm getting at again, who's going through a pain, and obviously will have some mental kind of psychological issues at this moment in time. In some way or form. It could be a minor psychological of just being sad and upset. It could be a psychological of feeling ashamed. It could be angry. It could be any kind of mindset. But they're going through their mind is not on a normal, how they would have normally thought, due to the pain. And we don't want to, I wouldn't want us to aid that thought, when in fact we could be human beings and do our job as being there for whoever we've got to be there by. And if there's no family for these people, there's a lot of people in these jobs that claim to do all these jobs that should be able to do all these duties for these people. Because they understand even better how to actually do it, because they're physically trained. Instead of saying, you know what, we haven't got people to take care of them. They've given up. Their family are just going to allow them to give up. And whatever pain they're going through, we're going to have to accept that they believe that pain is enough for them. And we believe you only have under 6 months left. So that's how serious it is for me, in that you get it, like, it's all human errors here. A load of humans, us, making decision on another human who isn't in the right mental state or physical frame to make decisions. because that was the main point I was trying to make to you yesterday. If they are not in the physical mind state or the physical body state to do anything, then they are not in the right mind state to make that decision. In my opinion.
Yeah.
You get it? Like maybe they may say, oh, you know what? They may actually say, you know what? If you have been diagnosed with cancer from now on, you have to fill in on the form whether you are willing to accept this or not in the future if you get to a certain stage. But then, again, it's giving people that option to give up. When we don't know, we never know the time frame. And we can never overjudge the pain they're going through. We can never understand whether that pain's getting worse or is getting better. We have no understanding because we are not them. And they're not in the right mind state to do that. So why are we making decisions? Why? We're humans. We are another human being. And if killing is not legal, I feel like this should not be legal either. If you're not killing paedophiles, giving them the jab, because it's immoral, how can you not do it to them? Because how can you do it to terminally illness, not call it immoral either? Regardless of what that patient may be feeling and saying at this moment in time. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it today, and we can get in the comments later and share this about and see what people think about it. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. SJ Cartier Limited Convos, and out.